You know, when you hear about how some people attempt to master spiritual sciences, some stories sound so absurd that you can't help but think they're made up. In those moments, you find yourself musing, "This must be a tall tale. Surely no real person could be that original." But my friends, I assure you, the characters I'm about to tell you about are entirely real. In fact, their stories are far from the most radical ones I've encountered. Believe me, I've met seekers of truth, whose experiments with spiritual practices could easily fill entire chapters of a psychology textbook. But today, we're not talking about them. Today, we'll focus on two earnest but bewildered individuals who refuse to give up on their quest to find their path, no matter how comical their attempts might seem. Their examples offer not only a chance to laugh, but also an opportunity to reflect. Are we really so different from making similar mistakes? Could it be that in our own spiritual pursuits, we sometimes bring more theatrics than substance? Meet our protagonists, Christina and her husband, Alex.
It all started with my love for harmony. My husband is always busy, and I decided it was time to focus on myself. A friend told me that Buddhism is the fastest path to harmony. So, I bought a book called Buddhism for Beginners. Everything seemed so simple. Breathe deeply, think positively, place a Buddha statue in front of you. I thought, why not? Then, I came across an ad for a course titled Complete Enlightenment in 10 Days. It sounded so convincing. I was drawn to their promises. Free yourself from anxiety. Become a magnet for happiness. Everything a woman my age could want. I subscribed, bought a bigger statue, a set of mantra audio discs, and some aromatherapy candles. Oh, and another book called Buddhism for Busy Women. But here's the catch. My practices didn't work. Why? Because I kept getting interrupted. Every time I sat down to meditate, Alex would start loudly discussing his deals on the phone. I tried locking myself in the bedroom, but the kids would knock and shout, "Mom, why does the whole apartment smell like vanilla?" And that wasn't all. I realized the problem wasn't just Alex. Buddhism itself was, well, too complicated. I found a video where some guru said, "The key is to be in the here and now." I tried, honestly. But how can you be here and now when your husband constantly asks, "Where are my clean shirts?" and your kids need help with homework? It seems like to meditate, you either need to escape to Goa or hire an army of housekeepers. Is that really spirituality?
My wife has always been passionate. When she said, "Alex, I need enlightenment. I want to be harmonious in everything." Of course, I supported her. But when she brought home a Buddha statue the size of our microwave, I realized she might be heading in the wrong direction. I'm a practical man. To me, spiritual practices are tools. Take yoga, for instance. I started it to get rid of back pain. Later, I attended retreats where I learned about breathing techniques in detail. I thought, this is my thing, relax, recharge. Then I had an idea. Why not use these techniques at work? I began incorporating meditation into my time management. 15 minutes before a call with partners, 10 minutes after a business meeting. Before every big meeting, I do breathing exercises twice. But over time, I noticed something was off. I genuinely believed calm breathing and a clear mind would help me be more persuasive in client meetings. It's crucial for me. I have to perform at a high level. At one meeting, I tried to stay calm even when the discussion hit several roadblocks due to the client's obvious mistakes. But it didn't work. The deal fell apart anyway. Maybe at the very end of the meeting, I said a bit too much, but this started happening regularly. It felt like the more I tried to maintain spiritual balance, the less effective it became. I started wondering, are these techniques just not suited for the business world? How can you not get disillusioned? I even began to suspect these teachings were designed to distract people from real work.
After my initial attempts with Buddhism, I thought, okay, it didn't work the first time. I'll find something more serious and try again. I discovered a course on mindful meditation. The description promised, achieve inner peace, learn to manage your emotions, and become an example for others. It sounded perfect. The technique was simple. Sit still, breathe, and just observe your thoughts without interfering. Easier said than done. At first, I felt like I was on the verge of enlightenment. But then everything went wrong. The most unexpected thoughts began to surface, mixing together in chaos. Strange sensations emerged in my body. The harder I tried to focus, the more ridiculous the thoughts became, each interrupting the other. And as if that wasn't enough, Alex suddenly decided to play noisily with the kids. They burst into the bedroom, saw me sitting on the mat, and started shouting, "Mom fell asleep sitting up!" Instead of inner peace, I ended up irritated and painfully aware that Buddhism is definitely not for women with kids and a hyperactive husband.
Christina often laughs at my experiments, but I don't give up. After I didn't get the results I wanted from breathing techniques, I decided to try something more advanced. I read about a practice called activating energy through visualization. It's a fascinating and powerful technique. You imagine a stream of light entering your body, filling you with energy. I loved it immediately and decided to incorporate this visualization into my work. Before an important meeting, I closed my eyes, pictured the light filling me, and walked in brimming with confidence. The start was great. I spoke calmly, my thoughts flowed clearly. But then, suddenly I realized I was rambling. Instead of discussing numbers, I got carried away, describing our corporate philosophy and talking about the importance of maintaining inner balance. At first, the client smiled, and I liked that. But soon, they completely lost interest in the meeting. In the end, the deal fell through. Turns out, not all energy techniques are equally useful in the business world.
What can I say? This Buddhism thing isn't for me. I tried, but all this observing thoughts and breathing clearly doesn't suit life with a family. I want to try something that can truly energize me, like shamanism, for example. Songs, herbal smoke. I can already feel it's closer to my nature.
My wife, as always, gave me a great idea. Shamanism sounds really interesting. I think there are a lot of practical elements that could be adapted for life and work. Drums, rituals. I might even suggest introducing some kind of ritual before meetings at the office.
The stories of Christina and Alex reveal how people often perceive spiritual practices as ways to solve all their problems effortlessly. But Buddhism, yoga, shamanism, they're not about avoiding chaos. They're about finding yourself within it. Instead of blaming others, be it your husband, children, the complexity of teachings, or the business world, you need to take an honest look within. Perhaps the issue isn't the system, but how you're applying it. Spirituality isn't magic. It's a path. Those willing to walk it will eventually find answers. But if you, like Christina and Alex, hop from one technique to another, you'll only stray further from your goal. Today's protagonists are certainly not alone. Many grapple with the question, how do you find yourself within the chaos? And is it possible to combine spiritual growth with financial success? Agreed. These are crucial questions. In the near future, we'll definitely discuss how to approach spiritual development so it doesn't interfere with, but rather supports, daily life. Stay connected. There's much more valuable and engaging content ahead.